a pleasure. It is an honor, and every single time when I have that pleasure and the honor to do that, it still gives me the chills to introduce to you a true legend of the sport of boxing, an amazing athlete, an amazing human being, Bernard the Executioner Hopkins.
Gary Shaw, thanks. First, glad to be in New York. As you heard earlier, I had a lot of great achievements here in New York. So I don't really have to repeat it. I see a lot of faces, a lot of reporters. I see the Tom Hauser, Bernard Fernandez, everybody. All my guys that either wrote their opinions, which I respect, and sometimes they went other ways and sometimes they went my way. It's only opinion, but I want to feel something, I want to correct something real quick, because it's not really a correction. It's a lot of money here, and I didn't expect Nazeem. This is not, you know, we promote, but this wasn't in the plan, and it's someone out there in some place, not out in this crowd, but that we can take this lot of money and donate it to a situation that Nazeem feels that need to be supported, whether it's breast cancer, which my mother passed from, which is anything that his family might have suffered, and we can take it and do something good. So I give it back to him and say that from you to me, or me to you, we'll take this money and put it in a place where it can be productive and a worthy charity. So there you go. And Nazeem spent a lot of his times in camp, and we're going to talk about the fight real quick, but I want to say that Nazeem, you know, was not in camp the whole 90%, but we managed it on the phone, and Moses and Danny Davis and, of course, Sharif and my guys, we held it down, but Nazeem has paid such a price being in my camp. And when you analyze things, you know that he has to eat too. And he has to provide for his family, and he has to see the deers and the acres and the things that life bring you when you work hard. So we was good and we was cool. So basically, I feel that he's getting his pay no matter what stage of that and what time he put in this fight, next fight, whatever. But he would be here from day one to the end to do what we have to do. And my team will come up with a plan that we already really had, but we would add more to it as time go on. I'm not getting bored with this press conference and things because I've been doing it so long, over 20 years. But I always have something to say, because every time I fight, I want to be able to say something that the world and the media has to remember, or at least look out for. When you get tired of making history, and when you get tired of competing, you can be in denial, but you will get exposed. One thing about boxing, than any other sport, basketball, you can call timeout if you're tired. You won't say you're tired, but you just need a break. Football, you can call timeout. In boxing, either you fight or you quit. They're the two things that can make and break your life and your career as a fighter. And some never recover from that. I am not a proven example of that, but I have proven that with other people. No names, no blame. We ain't got to mention names, but they haven't been right. There's not too many fighters that people can fight and say, you know, every time you fight that guy, every time that guy fights someone that seems their fighter will never be the same. They're different, or they never recover. That's a chance you take when you fight a Bernard Hopkins. Now, you hear Chet Dawson, you hear Kerry Shaw, you hear everybody saying their opinion, and this is promotion and all that, but I believe they're real about what they're saying. The only thing they're wrong about is I duck no one. Boxing world is too small to run. What I've done is use my Fox mentality and curated something in the light heavyweight division that was missing after the Bernard Hopkins and Joe Gazaki fight. As a southpaw, for the record, I am 12-1, and the one loss is a split decision to Joe Gazaki, which most people would say I won that fight. But nevertheless, it is what it was. I love fighting southpaws because I'm very unorthodox myself. I don't do things regularly, and I'm not a regular fighter. Case in point, look at my history. Look at my record. You take Chad Dawson and you take my resume. We've been applying for a job, right? Okay. Okay. Harvard Community College. And who you going to hire? Now, no disrespect to community college because they mostly in the inner city, if not all the time, and they do help stepping stone to get there, but y'all know what I'm saying. We having fun, but I'm letting you know that I'm not ignorant. I know that it plays a good role where it sits, but you're hiring these two individuals, or at least make an attempt to hire someone, and I'll give you my resume, so I don't have to bore y'all with my resume. These faces are common to me, y'all. My face is common to most of the reporters, if not all. But I still have the fire and desire to beat up the so-called fighters that claim that they know it all. And so anybody that's 40 and up club or knocking on the door 40 or they 35, you still can get in, you feel like you're 40 for some reason, welcome. Welcome to the 40 house. Because at the end of the day, one thing that age and wisdom, it can't be compromised. Now the physical can, depending on who you are. Chad Dawson has two problems. He have a guy with a PhD in what I do. And he also got a guy that says 46 on the birth certificate, but it can easily be argued he's 10 years younger than that when it comes to the physics side. Now, I am not the same person I was at 26, but I don't feel nothing like the 46 that someone might feel or younger in this building today. And I boxed for 20 years, and 60 plus fights, without even adding in the amateur fights. So, again, I don't want to bore y'all with things you already know about me. 1988, I started my career. I believe Chad Dawson basically wasn't in existence, rather, as far as boxing. 1988. Chad Dawson, well, had pampers on. Well, I like to say diapers on. But whatever it was, I'm fighting another young, strong, tall, light heavyweight. And so I don't want to downplay that I'm that spectacular where that doesn't play a point. Because me and Father Tom, we always debating whether this the time or not. Oh yeah, I get cramps. I get aches. I'm human. Trust me, pinch me, I'm gonna say ouch. But watch come March 15th to see if I either kept him away or if the family come that night. I think that's what I got to tell people, that I'm human and I'm willing to take that chance. I'm willing to walk that tightrope without a safety net in the air to say that this what fighters mean and this what fighting mean to me. Because if I fight someone that's my age or close to it, y'all not interested in that. But to be daring and to be brave takes courage. And I could have easily said, I don't want to fight Jean Pascal, but he called me out. I'm home in my rocking chair.